hi everyone. Welcome to tonight's cooking class with Chef Stephanie Rose. My name is Alex. I'm kind of just Chef's little like student intern chef in training. So I'll just be kind of helping moderate the class as Chef does her thing. All you, Chef.
Thank you, Alessandra. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful to have you here. And I'm really grateful to have all of you out there here with me in the Simple Cooking with Heart kitchen tonight on our regular Thursday evening. This is the thing, if you want to cook along with me or not. I'm just happy to have you here. And I'm dying to taste this recipe. I do love Indian food. Be honest, I wasn't a real fan of it in my early 20s, but I guess as I've matured, I've respected and I've actually, really grown to love it. And then I am in total awe of this, 4,000-year-old cuisine. That's a long time. So, I mean, in 4,000 years, they know what they're doing when it comes to, flavor and combining, different spices. And it's, don't poo-poo a curry because there are thousands of different kinds of curry. And tonight we're making the spinach with the cheese, little blocks of cheese called paneer cheese. I hope if you read in the recipe, there are substitutions. I couldn't find any, so I got the halloum instead. Of course, if you're really fancy, you could make your own at home, but I didn't have time for that this week. Sorry. And then spinach, and then we're going to put in some onions and ginger and garlic and coriander. I love all these spices, tomato, and cook that with the spinach. Oh, I'm going to have to add water. Oh, well, I'll add some of my water. And then the yogurt's going to bring it that creaminess, and then we're just going to plop in the cheese and serve it on some ready rice. Make sure your rice is brown rice. Okay, we know that there really isn't much nutritional value in white rice, so go for the brown. And this, if you are cooking along and you didn't get the ready rice, you better start cooking your brown rice. It takes a little bit longer than regular rice, but this, I love it. I'm just going to put it in the microwave. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. So first things first, your knife. How do we hold our knife? Very simply, pinching the blade technique, your thumb all the way at the bottom of the blade, right by the handle. My knife actually has a really nice indent there. And then your pointer finger on the other side. So I can hold it, it's nice and balanced. And then I put these other three fingers around the handle. Okay. So that for me is really quite comfortable. Try to keep your knives sharp. Don't put them in the dishwasher. My sister puts all the good knives I give her in the dishwasher. I don't know why. It ruins the edge, and if you can store the knives, one of those magnetic, clips on your wall, it's a lot better for the blade. When you just throw the knife in the drawer, it's not so great on the blade. And that's what I do. So let's get started. We have a few choppy things to do. So I think first I'm going to start with my onions. Just one onion. I have just 1 cup of onion. So I think this is probably going to be plenty. So remember, with the roly-poly, you really want to stabilize it. So the best way to stabilize a round onion is to lop off one end. Now, do not lop off both ends, okay? Because we need the root end, because that helps keep all of the layers together when we're dicing. So lots of logic. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit of this bottom half. And that way, there you go. We're not rolling around anymore. And then you could just straddle it over top and cut this in half. Voila. I don't even think I know one Indian word. I know I want to go there. So I'm just going to peel off this whole section there because it was kind of wonky. There we go. Peel that one off. Peel the other one off. I like onion. And I want to get the onion started because traditionally they cook in a lot of the other Indian recipes that I use when I'm making biryani. The onions are cooked forever, like half an hour, really slowly. Of course, they're cooked in ghee too, ghee, clarified butter, but we're not going to use that. Okay. Not this time. Okay. Easy dice. How do we do this? I pretend there's like a wall near the root, and then I just go up and down. Actually, does it say, it does say dice. Oftentimes, if you're doing slices, that looks good too. So, but I'm just going to follow the instructions. With this one, it says dice. So I've gone all the way across as far as I can. If you really wanted it smaller, you could go through it one more time like this, but it's really not that necessary. Okay, and then I'm going to, remember, curl that other fingertips, curl them under. We want to be safe. And then you just cut through this like that. And we have a nice instant dice. So you don't even have to really go over it at all. And that does not look like a cup. So I'm going to do my other one. Put some oil in your pan. I'm just going to use a nice clean oil. We know that olive oil is really good for you, but the flavor profile, I just want something clean. Canola oil, corn oil, either of those would be fine. Nothing too fancy. All right, so I'm going to turn on my heat in my beautiful new pan, put in a little bit of oil, and get these in the pan. This is the dump technique. I don't have to dirty up another bowl because I'm just going to dump them right in here. Because you can kind of start it on high if you keep an eye on it. I said we don't want to burn them, but we do want to get a little color going. So let's get that started. Come on, start cooking. Maybe I should have heated up my pan. No problem. So hopefully you also have your spinach, just frozen spinach. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy spinach. Just get a box. I mean, my mom used to always have boxes of spinach. I believe it's cooked 10 ounces. And you want to squeeze out all of that liquid. So I hope you did that. I had bags of spinach that I cooked down because I just don't usually eat all of this raw spinach in little bags in my freezer. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, the stuff in my freezer or the stuff that I just bought today. Choppy. Let's get our garlic. So we have 3 cloves of garlic. I did want to be able to see this one. Look how gorgeous this is. This is a fresh garlic. I don't want to break into it because it's just so pretty. We used them. I brought them to class the other day. It was really interesting because, the paper hadn't really formed into this papery stuff and was soft. It's nice. All right, so to get the papery stuff off, first I want you to just cut off that little dried up nub. It did not have a little dried up nub, so okay, I can hear it. It's starting to do something. I don't know about you, but the produce has been a little bit iffy and off, and the supply chains are all wonky. I got this little guy here, so I'm going to go ahead and use him. Get rid of this junk. Okay, now the easiest way to get all the papery stuff off it, lay it down flat, put your knife on it flat, and then just come down. Bam. And you can kind of hear it smash a little bit. So you're getting it started. Makes it easier to chop it up, mince it, puree it. If you don't have fresh garlic is available in many different forms these days. So you can get it in the tube and squish it out, get it in the jar. If you can't get the fresh, but you can put that whole head of garlic in your freezer. So, because I know sometimes I've left them in the drawer and it starts to grow. And I still use it. All I do is cut it in half and then just take out that little green, little growy bit. So, all right, onions are cooking. I can hear them. They sound good. Come on, get happy. And this, then you notice I changed the grip a little bit when I'm doing the mincing, because it's just easier. Go back and forth. I put my hand flat on the tip to keep it on the cutting board. And then I moved my other hand just so it's lightly holding the handle, and then I can get this rocking action. And then very carefully wipe the garlic off, okay? Now I do not want to throw the garlic in just yet because it does not take long to cook. And I really would like to get a little color on these onions. Come on. Work for me, work for me. Now I want to do my ginger. I think I've gotten carried away with ginger. I have ordered a lot of ginger. We need 2 teaspoons of ginger. So here we have a nice big chunk. You know, there's tons of ways you can peel it. You can use a peeler. You can use a spoon. You can use your nail. This peel comes right off. It's super easy. Look at that. That was just my nail. Or you can just use the knife. Okay, but make sure it's a pretty, should be kind of yellowy, little light golden on the inside. There we go. Oh, come say hello, sweetheart. I have a surprise visitor. She just walked in, stealth. Come say hello. My daughter, Natalie. Yay! I missed you.
I missed you.
Mwah, 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 mwah. I'm making Palek Paneer. So I'm just scraping off the what a nice surprise. Haven't seen her in forever. Get rid of all this stuff. Yay. You know, and you could grate your ginger if you don't feel like chopping it. And again, it also comes in these little squirt bottles. I love the texture of the freshly chopped ginger. And again, if it's peeled and you don't use it all, put it in the freezer. Freezes beautifully. And then when you take it out, don't let it thaw. Just get your zester and zest it, and then it comes off looking like snow. So I'm doing this the hard way. It would be a lot easier if I had thought ahead of time and got a paring knife out. Right? But I like challenges. This is nice ginger. Love it.
And actually, for those who may not be comfortable with like using a knife to take the ginger skin off, chef has taught me the spoon method. You can use a spoon to take the skin off as well, which is always helpful.
Yeah, or just a peeler, or just buy it already, already chopped up. So now I'm just going to chop it into panels, pretty much how we start with everything. And then I'm going to take each panel and julienne it. So little strips. And then I can make that into a little pile. Okay, my onions have got some color. There we go. Beautiful. You can stack them up if you're feeling bold. Do 2 little panels. Oh, it smells really good. Ginger's so good for you. I actually do, I do use a lot of it in my recipes. So it looks like that little chunk, that one little chunk was just enough. Now I'm going to turn these down because they're getting ready to, they're screaming, "You're going to burn me. Don't burn me." Turn it down. At least I got a little color, not burnt. Let me finish the rest of this ginger. I used to say, "Oh, you can never have too much ginger." Well, sometimes you can. So stick with 2 teaspoons. And if you want more, you can always put more in later. This is actually more than 2 teaspoons here, right? But what else am I going to do with it? Going in. Saute the ginger. That going. Keep your eye on it. Now I'm going to cut up my tomato. I want to make sure that's ready. So I'm going to cut out that core. If you can't find the fresh tomatoes, go ahead and get the canned diced low sodium tomatoes. They're wonderful. I absolutely adore them. I always have them. I particularly like the fire roasted one. So when I find that, I use that. So I'm just going to do very simple chunks of tomato, okay? And I'm going to stir. And I'm going to go back to this. Tomatoes, you do typically have to have a sharp knife. And I like the seeds. I want all of that wonderful heart, pulp, everything in this tomato. And I'm very happy that they're coming back into season. And now I'm going to put in my garlic. Put that in there. And I'm using my knife. Oh, look at all that juice coming out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just want to lick it, but I won't do that. I'll just wipe it off with my towel. There we go. Garlic's not going to take long to cook at all. Really just cooking it until you get that fragrance. And now I believe I'm going to add my dry spices. I always want to add those into the pan, you know, because they're dry. I want to get them toasted a little bit, bring out the oil. So I believe we have a teaspoon of coriander, one of my favorites, and a teaspoon of cumin and a little bit of red pepper flake. So we're going to put that in here. Also, let me look at my cheat sheet. Just stir that up a little bit, just to boost the flavor. They're dry, they're tired, they've been in the dark. As soon as you start smelling it, that is perfect. They're smelling toasted coriander. And I love coriander. I just can't grow it for beans. I had a live coriander plant in my front room. Planted it yet. Grow light, never water. Oh God. I don't know if it goes to seed. That's the seeds are the coriander. The cilantro seeds are coriander. So that's smelling really good. I think I'm going to dump in my tomatoes, if I'm correct. Tomatoes. We want to stir these up a little bit. I know who. I remember now who turned me on and changed my whole opinion of Indian food, and it was my sister. She would make a wonderful Indian dish that was just tomatoes and onions, cardamom. Oh, she would just whip it up, and it was delicious. And I want to say, Mahatma. I have her cookbook here. Joffrey is the woman who has the cookbooks. She's kind of like an Indian Julia Child, or Martha Stewart. Actually, she has a very interesting story. I actually think she was even a model at one time. So look her up. So we just want these tomatoes to get a little soft. I already have measured out my spinach. Now I want to get my cheese cut up. I can't remember how many ounces. If you could look, is it like 3 ounces of cheese? This is a nice, not aged, like basically a farmer's cheese. Doesn't really melt.
Chef, you need 2.5 ounces of the cheese.
Okay. This is probably a little bit more because that whole
That's
chunk
okay.
was 7 ounces. Shh.
More is the better. More is merrier. That's
more the merrier.
Okay. More the merrier.
All right. I think my tomatoes are good. Not too much. Nothing has to be cooked too much. Now my spinach. See, this is the one that I had in my freezer. And you can see some of it is discolored. And I hate that. But I got to taste it. Yum, yum. Salty. That's why we're only using 2.5 ounces. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just use the stuff that I had. Should be about 10 ounces. This might be a little bit more. Oh dear.
Chef, this really is such a quick and easy recipe.
Most Indian recipes, I mean, a lot of them out there are super, super easy and super fast. Now I think I get to add some water, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How much water?
About a 1/2 cup.
Okay. Now I'm adding the garam masala.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
And you can really dress it up too. Like if for those who may want to add a protein source like tofu or chicken or any type of protein sources, you can always add that in and kind of dress it up yourself if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Which is really nice.
Serve some kebabs on the side.
Yeah,
that you've marinated
exactly.
in yogurt. That makes it so tender. So really, I'm just cooking the spinach here just enough to heat it up, right? It's already cooked. So I just want everything to get warm here. Let's taste. And then we add the garam masala at the end, right? So, so when it's hot,
it says once you have the spinach in there, about like 2 to 3 minutes of cooking, and then you can stir in the paneer and
here's my garam masala.
And then I think it asks for a little bit more water as well.
Water, yeah, I think I put it in a little bit early. That's okay. More water. Water. Where's the water going? It's just like sucking it right up. I can go ahead and add my cheese now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's go in, get that cheese in there because the cheese is cold. Yeah, I used to think this was the strangest looking dish. Like, why are there blocks of cheese in this spinach? But it is so delicious. You could also have some wonderful sides of, dals, the lentils. Oh my goodness. There's a gazillion different colored lentils. That would be a really excellent side dish for this. Or my other favorite, and one I actually make a lot, is the chana masala. It goes with anything. It's the chickpeas. Very similar ingredients, but I do love it. And then it's just chickpeas are just packed with nutrients, right? And then when we're combining all of this with rice, the beans and the rice are going to give you a perfect protein, I believe. So just getting everything warmed up. If I could stop playing with it, maybe it would get warm. Obviously, I am hungry. I'm going to put the lid on just for a second. See if that works. Heat it up quickly. And of course, I did get carried away on the peppers. So it's got a nice heat with it. Now, also, these dishes are often served with a chutney. I adore chutneys, but be careful, if you're buying the store-bought ones, because they are going to be full of sodium, or they're going to be full of sugar, all those wonderful mango, chutneys. Oh, they're so delicious. So be careful with that. And if you have some time, I actually made my own chutney, which is going to be delicious. This one, all it was ginger, some garlic, cilantro, and mint. And it actually called for a little bit of black salt. If you don't have that, don't worry about it. Just put in a little bit of salt, never really more than a quarter teaspoon. I didn't even put any water, put in some fresh lime juice. And I think that is it. And the jalapeno pepper. It's going to be really nice. Give it a little kick. They also have these wonderful lime pickles, and I love going to the Indian market and looking at all of these things. There's another one that's my absolute favorite, and I usually make it around Christmas time. Tamarind and date chutney. If you ever have an opportunity to try that or to make it, it is, and dates are super, super healthy for you. And the tamarind has this wonderful zingy flavor to it. I just adore it. All right. Now the cheese is not going to melt, but it's getting warm. And I think really everything else is nice and hot. But now I'm just going to turn it off. And I'm just going to let it rest for a minute before I put in my cold. Always good to take your yogurt out, let it get to room temperature. I've dumped it in and cooked it, and the whole thing curdles. So I don't know why I'm opening this, because I can go in the microwave just like this. I always forget that. Try to make it harder. It's easy. It's already in a package. I don't think I'm going to need both of these, but my son will probably like that. So it's 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt that I love, and then save 2 tablespoons. So it's 1/3 cup plus 2 extra tablespoons to put on as a garnish. So let's see what happens here. Put that 1/3 cup in. I'm kind of guessing a little bit. You don't have to use Greek yogurts, but why not? So this is going to make it nice and give us that creamy feeling of decadence, and super healthy. It's just a nice, different way to have spinach, right? You could probably do it with kale. You could do it with, what am I looking for? Swiss chard, any of those, and good old fashioned spinach. So I think this is a success. Oh, I know it looks a little funky, but I find that it looks appealing. So I'm going to eat it. I'm pretty sure I'm missing anything? Easy. I love easy. Got a little bit of rice. Oh, that's nice and steamy. Oh, I know what I'm missing. What do I like on it? Oh, got coriander in it, and we have to have some fresh cilantro on it. So of course I have some fresh cilantro over here. This was another farmer's cheese that I got that you could use as well. Nice, fresh. Have to have a little bit of naan on the side, right? I thought about they have papadoms too. I thought about getting some of those, but I looked at the ingredients on the papadoms and they are loaded with sodium. So that's a no on the papadoms, which is a pity because you don't have to fry them and they're nice little, have a nice little crunch to them. There we go. Serve it up. I mean, pretty darn easy, right? We're done. It's done. Serves, how many does it serve? I mean, this looks like a nice, hearty amount of food, frankly. Probably serves 4, which is our usual amount.
Yeah, on the recipe it says it serves about 4.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, it's
That's a
good,
lot.
chef. Especially that's my favorite naan bread. I always have to have naan bread.
I love it. It is so good. But just don't have too much of it, all right? All right, must taste. It's delicious. It's delicious. Here's my coriander here. Maybe just go ahead and put some on a plate. Nice little kick of heat, that's for sure. There you go. Love it, love it. I can't wait to put some of that beautiful chutney I have on it. There we go. You know me, I'm styling. Move. Styling. Put a little bit of rice in the plate. Usually I think the rice portion is typically no more than half a cup. But if you really don't even want rice, don't use it. I like a little bit of rice. A little bit of the Palek Paneer. There we go. Yum, yum. And didn't it say we get to have a little bit more yogurt on top of it? A little dollop. Yum. Little dollop of yogurt. Maybe a little bit of my chutney. A little bit of chutney. Oh. And then the garnish of cilantro. I mean, you could put some mint on here too. And don't forget, you can eat the stems. Crunchy, delicious. And that's it. I mean, healthy, easy. I mean, you could bang this out in no time at home and feed everybody. And it's something different, for a change and healthy. And just with some frozen spinach. Gotta love it. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat box. I'm just delighted that you've joined us. And, don't forget, we love donations to our kitchen. So if you're feeling generous, don't forget you can put in your phone 41444 text and then type in Be More Kitchen. And that actually goes straight to the kitchen. And we are open for classes. It's probably going to pick back up more in August because we've got the July 4th. And then I teach to table summer camp for children out here on the shore for 2 weeks. So probably won't be back. That's why it says gone fishing. If you're looking at the calendar, I've gone fishing. I'm gone crabbing. I'm going blackberry picking with kids and riding around town. And hopefully I'll be making some really cool recipes with them. I look to this as kind of professional development and my giving back to the community. So then end of July, I'm here all of August. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Come to the kitchen if you can, and then what, goodness, then it's September. Holy cow. Then summer's over. Time gallops. Well, if you don't have any other questions, I really enjoyed being with everybody tonight. Muchas gracias. How do I say that in Indian? I don't know, but the heart's in it. Okay. Please enjoy because I can't wait anymore. I want to try it and I'm going to go give my daughter another big hug and a kiss. Thanks again, y'all.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks so much for joining.
See you next time in the Heart Kitchen.